Hi guys, I just want to walk you through some staple ingredients that I always have in my kitchen cupboard and ones that you guys should have on board too if you're wanting to cook more and more of my recipes. As standard, I always have some thyme on hand. This is a really nice woody herb that's got a nutty texture to it, and it works really nicely in sauces and marinades, but also simmered nicely on stews. I just can't get enough of it, to be honest. And then if you've ever got a day where you're feeling a little under the weather, I would just recommend squeezing some honey, lemon, and adding a little sprig of thyme and hot water, and it's just such a lovely little mix together to get you through the winter period when you've got flu. Here we've got Scotch bonnets. Now these are really, really fiery peppers. Peppers are measured on a Scoville rating. And in terms of sort of mild, you've got your standard bell peppers, medium I'd say, jalapeno, cayenne pepper. Scotch bonnet's a lot higher than that. It's pretty high up on the Scoville register. So you want to really de-seed this if you're not very keen on heat. But if you like heat, these are some real good bad boys. They're below ghost peppers on the Scoville register, but yeah, they really, really pack a punch. If you're going to use these in stews as well, I would recommend popping them in whole. If you cut them up, it just exposes the hot seeds to your stew, and it can really just overpower the entire taste. They'll just bubble along nicely and add a warmth and a heat if you just drop them in whole instead. These are a staple in Caribbean cooking across all of the islands, whether that's Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, St. Vincent. Mainly I'd say the Spanish-speaking islands use it a lot less because they have less spicier foods, but you will definitely find this gem of a pepper across the Caribbean region. Now, this is half of a plantain. Sorry I don't have a whole one, guys. I actually ate half of this earlier today. This is really important to have in the cupboard too. So it looks like a banana, but it tastes like a sweet potato. And you can see that there's lots of black markings along it. If you had a banana that had this many black markings, you'd probably think it was overripe and a bit too done. This actually is perfectly ripe, and to be honest, the skins could go even more black for you to know that it's super ripe. The riper they are, the sweeter they are, and you can do so much with plantains. You can bake them, boil them, fry them. They are just wonderful, and absolutely all of the Caribbean region and across Africa as well use plantains, and I'd highly recommend having these in your cupboard. They're not the easiest to find in standard supermarkets, so I would recommend going to a local exotic supermarket that maybe specializes in Asian, Caribbean or African foods. So as well as having ripe plantains, you can also use them for cooking when they're green. When they're green, they are less like a sweet potato and more like a really starchy baked potato. They're wonderful in stews, and you can also make tostonis with them. We've actually got a recipe for tostonis, so I hope you guys can check that out. And we also have used them in our slow vegan rasta rundown, which is a warm simmered curry. It's just absolutely lovely. Coconut milk. This is an absolute staple that should always, always be in your cupboard. This is a lovely essence that we add to any stew or any curry across the Caribbean region. The more coconut milk you add to a curry, the milder it becomes. Sometimes you just want to add a tiny bit just to add that nice little coconutty kick into your stews, but I just can't get enough of coconut milk, even to the extent that I sometimes simmer my porridge oats in it in the morning to have a Caribbean style breakfast. Now this is the lesser known of all of the ingredients that I have. These little buds here are called pimentos. They're also known as allspice. You tend to find them in supermarkets in their ground up format, but this is the whole pimento buds. Now these are just, the aroma of them are just so warm and rich. It's the kind of spice that you find in the warm spice section next to, say, cinnamon or nutmeg. It's that similar family of spice. This is really important in Jamaican cuisine in particular. It's actually the basis and formation of jerk in terms of the marinade, but also people tend to use the leaves that pimento grow out of as a way of deterring mosquitoes. So if you're ever trekking up in the mountains in an exotic country and you come across pimento leaves, and you know immediately when you find them because the smell is so strong, you just rub the leaves on your skin and you tend to not get any mosquito bites. So that's just a nice little tip there. What I love the most about pimento is it just marries so nicely with chilies, and because Caribbean cuisine does have quite a focus on Scotch bonnet chilies, it's just the perfect match to go together. And last but not least, I cannot be the founder of Lime Hut without my favourite ingredient, which is lime, of course. Now, this can be used on salads, in marinades, and even just a wedge by itself to add a nice acidity when you squeeze it onto absolutely everything. So we've used this in desserts, we've used it alongside our guacamole, we also use it to squeeze on top of our dishes like our chili and lime saltfish. I just cannot get enough of limes. And a fun fact that I have is Lime Hut is not actually named after this fruit here. Lime in the Caribbean means to hang out with your friends at the beach, so I've got 2 reasons to love the word lime. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the rest of our videos if you enjoy, and please do click like, share and subscribe.